Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking about measuring angles. Now, when we're talking about angles, we're talking about two lines that meet at a point, then the angle between them is the amount of turn in degrees that is needed around a point of intersection to make the lines the same. Now, when we're also talking about angles, we're talking about how they're measured in degrees. We're talking about how a complete whole turn is 360 degrees, but no worries, we won't go that far. But as long as we know the basics of what an angle is, it will help us when we understand the different terms or the different types of angles that are used. Now, we have different types of angles that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, and there are three main types of angles. So the first angle that I want to discuss with you is a right angle. A right angle has the degree of 90 degrees, okay? And it's typically when you see a right angle, it's in the shape of an L. So if you've ever seen an L is basically a right angle. And usually when you identify a right angle, it usually has a box or a square in the corner. That indicates that it is 90 degrees, okay? So now the next angle that I want to talk about is an acute angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So anything from 1 degree all the way to 89 degrees is going to be an acute angle. So something as small as 5 degrees, please believe that is going to be an acute angle no matter how small it is. Now, the last angle that I want to discuss with you is an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is greater or it's bigger than 90 degrees. So anything from 91 degrees all the way to 179 degrees is going to be an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle cannot go past 180 degrees because then it becomes a straight line. An obtuse angle has to be more than 90 degrees, but also less than 180 degrees, and that will be an obtuse angle. So we're going to go ahead and identify some of these angles, and we're going to see if you can help determine which one they are. Now we're going to identify this first angle. This angle is 90 degrees. What does that tell you exactly? We know that this angle is in the shape of an L. Remember, I talked about earlier that a right angle is typically in a shape of an L, which means that it's going to be a right angle. And of course, it says this angle is 90 degrees, which gives us a really big hint that it is the right angle. So we want to look at this image and we want to see what is the angle of A. Once again, in order to identify a right angle, it has to be at exactly 90 degrees. So in this case, angle A is 90 degrees. Therefore, the angle of A is right. So identify this angle. This angle is less than 90 degrees. Remember that we talked about earlier that an acute angle has to be less than 90 degrees. And we can even see that in our angle B is 30 degrees. Isn't that less than 90? Of course it is. So when we look at this image, it says, what is the angle of A? Well, we can see here that angle A is 40 degrees. Isn't that less than 90? So in that case, this makes this angle an acute angle. And then lastly, we're going to identify this last angle. The angle is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. And of course, then when we look at our angle example here, it says 130 degrees. That can't be a right angle or an acute angle. Therefore, this one has to be an obtuse angle. So when we look at this image as well, it's asking us for the angle of A. And if we know that H is 135 degrees, and all of these angles are congruent, all of these angles are the same, that means A is also going to be 135 degrees. So in this case, this angle is an obtuse angle. Okay, so now what I want you to do is to go find some objects in your house that will be an acute angle, a right angle, an obtuse angle. Then I want you to share on my blog. I want you to be able to discuss with other friends about what you found. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Bye.